Greetings ladies and gentlemen, I'm GC Smith and welcome to another Warhammer 40k 6th edition video. The old edition is dead. Long live the new edition, 6th edition. Now, for anyone that quickly wondered what was that, that's my 5th edition we'll work with, which I used as a spray tray for a short period of time because I couldn't find anything else. So, we can put that aside, we don't need it anymore. Now today we're going to be looking at the first video in our tactics series, and I almost gave myself a paper cut from this book, but well, that shows you how powerful it is. We're going to be looking at the changes to the game between 5th and 6th edition, and we're going to be looking at them phase by phase. So today we're going to be looking at the start of the game summary section. Now we could go for the main part of the rules, but pretty much the main bulk of the rules are exactly the same, and therefore only really needed to read too much of it for newer players. There are some differences, and we'll come to the units that are different towards the end. So we're going to be starting at the movement phase, because that is the first phase of every game. Of every turn, sorry. So we're going to be looking, it's like the turn phases is what we're looking at the moment. So we're going to be looking at the movement phase, and generally the movement phase is exactly the same. So units that we, movement phase is generally exactly the same, so you move, kind of thing. Now some of the values for movement have changed because other phases have changed. So for what things like infantry and jump infantry, bikes and jet bikes are exactly the same for standard movement to a part. Bikes and jet bikes do not, turbo boost in the movement phase. So the movement phase is 0 to 12 for things like that. So infantry 0 to 6, jump infantry 0 to 12, jump units not using the jump pack, so walking 0 to 6 because that'll be infantry, or if they're a different kind of jump unit depending on their movement. Beasts 0 to 12. That's one of the main changes. Yeah, beasts, cavalry have changed. Both of those units have changed to 0 to 12 in their movement because of changes to the assault phase. So they've got 0 to 12. Bikes 0 to 12, jet bikes 0 to 12, monster creature 0 to 6, artillery can move 0 to 6. Jetpack units, things like the Tau battle suits, Crisis battle suits, stealth suits, and I think there are some in the Eldar, and maybe others in other armies. They are 0 to 6, and they can walk as their standard movement. Skimmers 0 to 12, walkers 0 to 6, flyers. They're one of the major changes. Flyers will have to move 18 or more up to maximum 36 inches. If they move for any reason slower than 18, they crash if they're in flight mode. In zoom mode they call it, but not flight mode. Zoom mode, no. They should have called it flight mode. But anyway, flyers can, certain flyers, not all flyers, certain flyers can go into skimmer mode, which basically means they act as a skimmer, so they can move 0 to 12. Flying monstrous creatures can go into flight mode, swooping mode. They can move 12, 24 inches. Now I will say, every unit can pivot freely in their movement phase, apart from flyers in zoom mode and flying monstrous creatures in swoop mode, both of which can only make a 90-degree pivot, a single 90-degree pivot, before they move, and then afterwards they move in a straight line. All other vehicles that are not listed here, like normal tanks, move 0 to 12 in their movement phase. So that's a standard movement phase, and that is how it works now from now on. So that's how. But obviously, not everything moves for open terrain. There is different terrain. There will be various pieces of terrain. So how does terrain interact with various units while they move in this new edition? Well, infantry still roll standard different terrain tests. They roll 2d6 and pick the highest. Jump infantry. Jump and jet infantry, starting in terrain or ending in terrain, takes a dangerous terrain test. Jump infantry and jump infantry and jet infantry can end on top of impassable terrain as long as there's space to put them there. If they do so, they treat that as dangerous terrain, so we'll take a dangerous terrain test. Cavalry and bikes treat difficult terrain as dangerous terrain, but obviously they will not be able to get onto impassable terrain. Jet bikes, starting or ending in difficult terrain, requires a dangerous terrain test. So obviously they can move over it, but dangerous, if they start or end in it, dangerous terrain test. And they again can land on top of impassable terrain, but will treat that as dangerous terrain. Beasts can move through cover freely, which will be very nasty in the assault phase, and is a rather good buff to Tyranids because one of their basic troop units is a beast. And I think they come move recover anyway, so that's regardless. But things like beasts for, I guess there might be beasts in the Necron book, and beasts in other units, they all ignore terrain. Monstrous creatures roll 3d6 and pick the highest. Artillery roll 2d6, pick the highest. Skimmers, starting or ending different terrain requires a dangerous terrain test unless you've got upgrades and stuff that avoid that. Walkers roll 2d6 and pick the highest. And all other vehicles, dangerous terrain test. Flyers and flying monstrous creatures have no effect because they're so high above the terrain. Now, I said you can't turbo boost in the movement phase, and there's a very different reason for that. Is because turbo boosting is now done in the shooting phase. Because you give up your shooting to do it, they felt, well, you might as well do it in the shooting phase. And it kind of makes moving the army a bit more interesting, a bit more changing. So it is a large change to the movement of things. Now, I could cover this in the shooting phase, and I may cover it in the shooting phase, but I will cover it here in the movement, because it is directly related to the movement of some vehicles in some units. So, the unit types and vehicle types of infantry, artillery, jump units, jetpack units, monstrous creatures, beasts, and cavalry can run in their movement phase. They can't do anything else, they can only run. Flying monstrous creature that is swooping can run in the shooting phase. Walkers can run in shooting phase. Now, the run distance for infantry, artillery, jump units, jetpacks, and monstrous creatures and beasts and cavalry is a d6, as well as it's a d6 for walkers. For our flying monstrous creature that's in swoop mode, it's 2d6. Add them together, that's how far you run. Bikes, turbo boost, which is a up to 12 inch move in the phase. Jet, which means bikes can move 24 inches in an entire turn, exactly like that. Jet bikes can turbo boost to go up an additional 24 inches. So that means they go up to 36 inches in a turn. But Eldar jet bikes can turbo boost an additional 36 inches, which means Eldar jet bikes will actually go faster than the jet bikes of the Necrons, because they've got jet bikes. So Eldar jet bikes go an additional 36. They can have 40 inches in one turn. Ouch. Eldar jet bikes are faster than the aircraft? Insane. Insane. Eldar, you are going to have a very nice time contesting objectives, especially with a Seer Council, with Doom, Guide, and Fortune, stuff that can't be stopped by enemy psychers anymore with psychic hoods, which we'll come to in other turns, but they're going to be insane in contesting or capturing objectives, or how far they move. Heavy unit, like a vehicle heavy, a vehicle that has heavy, like a monolith, can't do anything a lot extra movement in the shooting phase. A fast vehicle can go an additional 12 inches. A fast skimmer can go an additional 18 inches. Flyer can go flat out. No, these are all flat out now. They're not too. It's all flat out. So a fast vehicle can go flat 12 inches. A fast skimmer 18 inches. Flyer flat out can go an additional 24, but it has to go a minimum of 12. So a flyer can go 36 inches in the movement phase and 24. Actually, yeah, they're faster than jet bikes, but still, that's a massive movement to contest. An insane amount of movement. I just can't believe that, actually, looking at it. And all other vehicles go 6 inches. So wait. So a fast vehicle, right, goes 12 inches, and a skimmer doesn't. And you'd imagine a skimmer would go faster than a tracked vehicle because of the thing. But no, a slow skimmer only goes an extra 6 inches, whereas a fast skimmer goes an additional 18 inches. Doesn't really make much difference. Considering this, a fast skimmer goes an additional 6 inches over a normal fast vehicle. That makes you assume that a skimmer should go an extra 6 inches because it's the skimmer part. But it doesn't, unfortunately. No, it doesn't. Oh well. That is actually, I'm pretty sure. Let's have a shooting phase. Right. Now, actually, yeah, because that's all in the shooting phase. That is actually looking at it now, is the everything for movement. Obviously, I may have actually gone fast through that. And actually, oh no, sorry, there are. If your unit is falling back, it must first attempt to regroup before it can move. And the regroup is actually in the movement phase, so if it successfully regroups, it may move up to 3 inches in its turn. If it fails to regroup, it must continue to fall back, based on the fallback, which I believe is 2d6, but I can check that when we go through maybe morale at some point. You have to state which models, if any, in the unit are not moving. So it's not one movement unit model moves and the whole unit counts as moving. It is models can stand still in the unit now and count as stationary, which is rather interesting. You must determine if the unit will be moving through difficult terrain, and if appropriate, roll for maximum move distances, as we've explained what they are, can move. And then move the unit up to its maximum move distance. If it's gone to ground, the unit cannot move. And there are some units that can't go to ground. Fearless units can never go to ground. Never. They cannot be pinned. Now, admittedly, I'm still slightly irked by that. I think they should be able to be pinned by rubble from a thing, but that's a special rule thing we'll go into when we go into the special rules. So, anyway, thank you for watching this video. Those are the changes between 5th and 6th edition, or general rules, and there are changes, obviously, like the beasts and everything, so those are general changes between the rules. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and at least found it informative. If you have done so, please like the video, please subscribe if you want to see any more of these, and if you have any particular rules questions I can answer by looking in the rulebook and not trying to answer, please let me know. And well, please comment and ask the question, and I will try and answer as well as I can. I will be doing more videos soon. I will be doing videos of the other 2 phases, the shooting and the assault, a video for each of those. And I will be doing a video from my, special rule video, maybe, other videos generally, like lots of videos, because there's a lot of content in this rulebook. A lot of new rules, a lot of new stuff like that. And I will be doing a video for each of the armies I play, Tau and Black Templar, or maybe more than one video per army. Looking at how they will work in 6th edition, changes to the units, how well they work, and generally how I reckon they would play or should play in the new edition. I'm not necessarily amazing at it, but I'll do my best to answer any question, do anything I can. And if you have any questions for those, I will ask now. If you want to questions you want me to answer in Tau videos and in the Black Templar videos, or shooting and assault phase particularly, do comment on the video, and I will try and answer this video in those videos, and I will try and answer those at some point. Especially for the Tau and Black Templar tactic videos and general videos, do put comments in this video, the shooting video and the assault video when I put them out, because these 3 videos are being recorded in like a row, and then those videos will be recorded at a later date sometime soon. So if you obviously want to find out information for those videos, do comment now so I can know it in time for when I record those videos. So anyway, thank you very much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed it, and look forward to seeing you next time.